Morning everyone, welcome to the channel. It's a beautiful Arizona morning. I thought I'd show you a few upgrades I've been doing to the motorhome, so let's go inside and check it out. Alright, so here's the coach. It's a 2004 Monaco Windsor, 38 foot. It's got the Roadmaster RR8 chassis. Those chassis have been known to cause some issues handling wise, so that's part of the reason I'm doing these upgrades. I already got the front wheels off. There's a pile of parts I'm going to be putting on. Hopefully get everything installed this weekend. Let me show you the back. I already got the back done. So here we are at the back of the coach. So I had the wheels pulled off to get new tires put on, and then I realized that this fender liner inside here, it comes right off. There's only like 8 or 10 self tappers holding it on. Kind of see them right there. But once you remove that, the airbags and the shocks, they're right behind that. They're just right there. You can get to them real easy. So installed the new shocks back here, inspected the airbags. A lot easier doing it like that than laying on the floor and trying to do it from your back. So there's the tires. Went with the Toyo M144s. 295/80, 22.5s. Put the same ones on the front last year, so now we got new tires all the way around. Also back here installed the Balance Master balance rings. They go in between the duals. Another thing I installed back here is this crossfire system. Just keeps the tire pressure equal between the inner and the outer dual. They just screw right onto your valve stems. Kind of tricky, not too bad. I had to custom make that little Z bracket right there. The brackets they gave me, I couldn't figure out how to make them work. So one of the main reasons I installed this kit is just to make it easier to put my pressure sensors on there, my tire pressure monitoring system. So one would go on that T right there. The other one goes down there. And then you just air both of your tires up right there. You don't have to mess with your sensors or take them off. So if you look right back in there, kind of hard to see, but last year I installed the crossbar kit from MonacoWatts.com. They mount right in between the trailing arms. So last year, right before we took a trip to Texas, I installed that crossbar kit, and right away I could tell it was a big improvement, especially with the wind gusts, semi-trucks passing, stuff like that. But I still felt the front moving around a little bit of squirm. So I'm hoping between this and the Watts Link kit that I'm installing this weekend, it'll cure some of that. Make this thing handle a little bit better and a little more comfortable to drive. So as far as the shocks, from my research, what I understand is those aren't really going to help out with wandering problems. They're going to be more for ride quality. Going over bumps, bridge transitions, around corners, body roll, stuff like that. So I'm hoping between all this new stuff I'm putting on that this coach is going to drive and ride a lot better. Keep a lookout. I'm going to post a video. After I get all this done, I'll shoot an update video and go for a ride and see how all this stuff is working together. Hopefully it's a big improvement. So that's it. Let's go back up to the front. All right, so this is all the stuff I want to get installed this weekend, hopefully. There's the Monaco Watts system. I'll show you more on that. These shocks are Bilstein shocks from Source Engineering. supposedly, from what I understand, is those shocks are valved and set up for these coaches. So hopefully we see a big improvement in the ride quality. Balance Master balance rings, I'll show you more on that. I'll leave links to all this stuff in the description. Alright, so here at this front wheel well, really makes it easy. These, well, I shouldn't say easy, nothing's easy on these coaches, but with these front tires off, the shocks and the airbags are a lot more accessible. There's airbag right there. Another thing, safety first. I got a block right there, another one over there, just in case there's any catastrophic air leak or anything like that. These coaches will drop about 8-9 inches, so that'll keep everything from collapsing, at least between the H-frame and the house frame. There's one of the shocks right there I'll be replacing. Here's the other side. Airbag, shock. I inspected these airbags during all this work too, and they look pretty good. Looks like these front ones are starting to check a little bit, so they might be getting replaced next year. Also brakes. I noticed on the brakes kind of getting down there, so probably be replacing those too soon. Never ending. But what are you going to do? So another thing that's on the agenda this weekend, get rid of this. It's a Blue Ox True Center, basically like a big steering stabilizer, but you can control it from the cab. Previous owner put this on, never worked, so I'm going to get it out of my way. It's going in the garbage. Alright guys, I got the generator slide out. I can show you this front end a little bit better. So right here's the steering box. That's a TRW steering box. These coaches came with two different brands, a Shepherd and the TRW. The Shepherds are known to have a lot of steering play, so a lot of guys swap these out. They'll swap the Shepherd for the TRW. I got lucky. This one already had the TRW, but these boxes are adjustable, and my old one I couldn't get it tight even by adjusting it, so I sent this one out, had it rebuilt last year. So it seems pretty good now. It's pretty tight. So from all the research I've done, if you've got steering play in your steering wheel, the steering box is the first thing you need to look at. So if you've got the Shepherd and you've got steering play, you need to swap it out for one of these TRWs. So get your steering box in check before you move on to any other chassis upgrades. That's the first thing you need to look at. Again, safety first. Got this coach up on some big jacks. There's the official manufacturer's label right there. They're 22 tons a piece. And then I got the blocks on there just for a little extra safety. I'm going to climb underneath there, show you guys that TRW box again. This is the back side of the steering box. Mounting plate. There's the output shaft. There's a big hole in this mounting plate right here. Output shaft sticks through there. Easiest way to tell which steering box you got on your coach is with the pitman arm right here, how it mounts. So the TRW's pitman arm slides over the output shaft, and there's a big pinch bolt right here. It pinches the top. There's a groove in the top of the output shaft too. That's the easiest way to tell. The Shepherds, they have a big threaded hole right here on the output shaft and a big washer and a bolt, and that's how that pitman arm is mounted to the output shaft. All right, so that's enough chit chat. I'm gonna grab some tools, get to work. So I had this old scissor jack laying around. I've been using it to retract these shocks. I made this little block, it's just a little 2x2, and it fits perfect right up there. So when you raise the jack with the shock on there, you can kind of position it and get it right in there, and it makes it real easy to get that bolt in there. Alright, so here's the Monaco Watts link kit. I'm breaking out the finger for this one, you guys, so here we go. So this is the bracket. This mounts to the 3-inch post running up and down on the coach. There's the other one on that side. You got this piece right here. I believe this is called the bell crank. This pivots. And then you got your tie rods that tie everything together. So what this is supposed to do, it limits side to side movement but still allows up and down movement. So it should really stabilize the coach, the front of it. This is for the front. All these kits are specific per coach. So this one is for my 2004 air leveling Monaco Windsor. Alright, so here's the kit that I got. AFWK 233. It's the front Watts kit. It's for the Monaco air leveling coaches with the Roadmaster RR8 chassis, and it looks like this one even fits the RR10S chassis. Alright, so here's that Roadmaster chassis. I wanted to show you some of the frame members. So this is the H frame right here. This is what makes the Monacos unique. Goes all the way across, makes a big H. This is just the driver's side. So then you got the same thing on the other side. On all four corners are the airbags, and then shock right next to that. So the house actually rides on the airbags and rides on this H frame. So the only thing really between it's the airbags and then shocks, but that's where the problem comes in, because you get a lot of side-by-side movement and wandering because of that. Monaco did try to make a correction and alleviate that problem by mounting this bar right here. I think it's called a panhard bar, but it's kind of like a track bar, kind of limits side-to-side movement, but you still get some. So that's what this Watts Link kit, it's a lot better design, and that's gonna hopefully alleviate the side-to-side movement. There's those 3-inch bars right there that those brackets mount to. And then the H frame right here, that's where the bridge or the bell crank will mount. It's going to mount right back there. So Mortons On The Move, they have a really good video showing the installation of a Monaco Watts Link system on their Monaco Dynaty. And he really goes into good detail on the history of the Roadmaster chassis and some of the things they did to try to fix this issue back in the day. So I'll put a link to that video in the description too. guys, so that's basically it for the kit. It's installed. I still have to fine tune it, torque these brackets, but I need to do that when it's at ride height. So I get it at ride height, travel height, whatever you want to call it. They give you this jig. You got to take this jig and make sure the bracket is at the right height and that bar is completely horizontal with this H-frame right here. So this jig it's pretty cool. Lets you set it up. This kit comes with really good instructions, and they point out how important it is to make sure they're flat with the H-frame right here. All right, so one of the last things I wanted to show are these Balance Master balance rings. They just slide right over the studs like that, and it spins with the whole assembly. These are actually, the front are actually specified roadside and curbside. The rear didn't have any stickers like that on there, so I'm assuming that they're universal. But the way these work supposedly is there's this channel right here, and it's got some mercury type substance in it. So as you're driving, that substance finds the lightest part or the off balance part of your whole rotating assembly here and collects right there, and supposedly it balances it out, gets rid of any vibration. So we'll see. I have the balance bags in my tires right now. I went with those instead of the weights, and they work okay, but I get a little vibration still at about 60, 65, and I can tell it's coming from the front. So hopefully these things clear that up, but we'll see. So just got to get the front tires on, and we'll call this a wrap. Right over here is here's the part number for these. This is the front. Here's the rear part number. Made in the USA. But that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe if you want. There's going to be a bunch more videos like this. I got a lot of things to do on this coach. So we'll see you on the next one.